Hi, my name is Troy Marsh. I'm with Keller Williams Capital Partners here in Worthington. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about our project for 2017 on Red Day. Red Day is next Thursday, May 11th. And basically, the way that we came into getting together with this charity, Inner City Ministries in Franklinton, is unfortunately my cousin was addicted to heroin. And having a 22-year-old look you in the eye and tell you that they were prepared to die versus getting off of a drug is a pretty powerful thing. And so when we went to Serve Day for our church back in November, everything happened all at one time within a couple months of each other. We learned about my cousin's addiction, and then we got introduced to Tim and Beth Tabor, who run the charity. And some of the stories and things that they told us about what they're doing was so powerful, we knew that we had to get involved. So once we met with them and they explained to us that drugs are really the entry point for human trafficking, for the sex trade, for prostitution, and it's also the way in neighborhoods that are tough where parents are absent that kids really just start down the path of no return. And so what they've done is they've created this ministry down in Franklinton that takes a three-prong approach to dealing with drug addiction. The first thing that they've done is created an outreach program for kids that allows kids whose parents who may themselves be addicted to drugs and are absent as a parent. It gives them a place to come and see and build a trusting relationship with an adult, which some of them have never had. The second thing that they do is they're in the process of starting a building that allows women who have been trafficked or are involved in prostitution a place to come and get a warm meal or to even just take a shower, which for a lot of them is something that they don't get to do very often. And the most important thing from both of these groups of people is just building that trusting relationship. So a couple stories I wanted to share with you. One is about a 14-year-old boy who they recently met, who was recently kicked out on the street by his mom, yes, his real mom. And the reason he was kicked out on the street was because her boyfriend got out of jail. The sad part about him going to jail is the reason he went to jail was because he was beating her son. And when he got out of jail, he had a restraining order against her son, and it was a choice between the boyfriend or the son, and so she thought her 14-year-old was old enough to take care of himself. So the only time that he has a roof over his head is when he comes back with enough drugs to make the risk of getting arrested again worth it for her boyfriend. The second story is about a girl who Beth met one day picking up needles outside their parking lot. And she looked a little bit, I'll put in quotes, nicer than some of the other girls in the neighborhood. So they started talking, and the girl said she was helping her because she really felt like that those types of things shouldn't be thrown about in a parking lot for a church, that it should be clean. And she came to find out that the girl grew up in Powell. And she became addicted to heroin, and when she didn't have the money to buy it, she had to come down to that area and basically became a prostitute. When they walked in between the houses and they were out of sight of everybody, the girl started to break down and cry and said that she really missed her mom and that she wanted to go see her. Well, obviously we're not far from Powell in Franklinton, so Beth offered to take her. The sad thing is that she refused. The addiction to heroin was so strong that even though she wanted to see her mom in the worst way, that the drug was more important. So some of the things that we're going to be doing next Thursday are really just designed to foster those relationships, and with the goal in mind to help them get connected with someone that they can trust, and that eventually the goal will be to help them break the chains of heroin and drug addiction, and also for the kids, give them an adult to trust and hopefully put them on the path to doing something with their life. This is real stuff, guys. It's 5 minutes from downtown, 10 minutes from Upper Arlington, 20 minutes from Worthington. This is not stuff that only happens in the big cities of Chicago and New York. This is stuff that's happening right in our backyard. So what we're going to be doing next week is we're going to be building a fence. The fence is getting built because the house next door is vacant and the homeless people that live in it use their yard as their urinal and toilet because they don't want to do it in their yard. We're going to be doing some painting on the outside just to help with chipping paint and things like that. We're going to be working on building a basketball court so the kids can play on a basketball court where they don't get beat up by the older kids. We're going to be doing some landscaping to make it seem like a place that everyone would want to come to. It's going to, again, just help draw people in from the neighborhood. And then also build some benches for kids so they can support more children. What I want to tell you is if you're not able to make it next Thursday, or even if you are, there's always a need for this charity. So any kind of monetary donations that you can make would also be much appreciated. They can be made directly to the charity, which would be a tax deduction for you. So for more information about that, if you'd be willing to donate money as well, please contact your team leader. Any other questions, definitely let us know, and we're looking forward to seeing you there next Thursday.